Alrighty, this is it. This is the moment. This is where we have the podcast going on here. Like, I have been through a whole lot of things now, and I think I'm beginning to realize that the world out there is just like ripping and tearing the fuck itself apart. So I don't know, man. Like we've been discussing about a whole lot of problems the past couple of hours, and what's going down here? Like, what's our jazz, so to speak, right? Like, what's our continuations of our new order systems that we got running around here, right? Yeah. Yes. Is that viable? Like, can you see me just doing like weird shit like this with my hands? Like, I just got a whole lot of energy here. Like, Chris, what you got going on here with them guitars? Like, what's up with your guitars here?
Well, this is just another way of life, I guess. You know, it's.
Is it? Like, is it actually?
Oh yeah, dude. It's like, you know, the way I create my own personal art. You know, I try to put this all together. You know, with the instruments, mashing it, making it.
Right. You see.
Work of art.
Right, you see, Chris here is actually a guitarist. He plays a lot of guitars. Like, he's gone to many concerts, so have I. I have done it to myself. Like, you know, it just becomes like, you know, a thing where, you know, where you get so outcasted from society, right? You just get left out from people, and people are just like, oh no, who are those weirdos over there? Like, what's going on here? Like, no, I don't think so. Like, that's just not what's trendy, right? Like, who are those Hot Topic kids, right? Like, did you know, like, I was one, like, you know, throughout my high school years, I was referred to as a Hot Topic kid. Do you know how, like, what kind of stereotypical implications that implies in and about you? Because nowadays, like, you know, stereotypes are, like, just so old. Like, nobody cares about that anymore, right? Like, what is this rambling here? How do we, you know, ramble in about, you know, deeper topics? Like, I mean, what's up with that?
Well, like, a lot of, you know, back then, you know, especially in high school, the groups and shit are, like, more, they're bigger, you know, like, for example,
right.
You got that small itty-bitty percentage of, like, you know, I guess what you would call outcast kids of, you know, music genres and things that other people really never really got to touch on.
Right, yeah.
Like, anything that just is weird or new to, you know, the human, they're just going to consider it weird, and they're going to kind of, like, you know, they fear it, so they just kind of push that aside, and they just want to stick with what everyone else is going with, you know? Like, fuck, remember, like, everyone
I
like,
definitely remember.
Almost uniform, dude. Everyone was trying to wear true because it was trendy.
True religion jeans. Like, you mean those baggy jeans that, like, that just like, you know, expand on your leg, right? You get a whole lot of air flowing through your legs, right? You're just like walking around, and it's like, whoa! Like, I could never get into those kinds of fashion trends because, you know, like, I just was always attracted to the skinny jeans, the Vans, and the V-neck tees. And the snapback, and the snapbacks, and the freaking hoodies and beanies that you buy from Zoomies and shit, and it's just like a whole different, like, group, right, of people, right? Like, you got your skaters and your stoners and your little emo kids and goth kids. I mean, do you see what the byproduct of that is? Like, I mean, obviously the byproduct of that is something that's just, like, way out there, not something in here where, like, I just feel weird AF. Like, you just get stamped with that label, pop, like, that label just stamps on you, and then you're just like, oh shit, I don't belong here. Like, I am an outcasted rebel.
Oh yeah, dude. Like, honestly, I always thought it was cheesy as fuck. You know how, like,
cheesy as fuck.
A lot of the time when, like, you know, all these normies were trying to, like, they wanted to have that attention so bad that they would leave the price tag on, so people could, like, see, you know, what they're rocking, and it's like,
Yes, you see, that's because it's a competition of like who could rock the freshest fits. Exactly. And the person who's rocking the freshest fit right now is right here, me. Right here, me. And so is him. I mean, show him what brand hoodie you have. Like what brand hoodie is that?
Sus boy.
Sus boy.
Because that's what I am, dude.
Sus boy?
I'm a sus boy.
Oh, nice.
Just that one kid that's like, oh shit, like, what is that kid up to? Like, why is he dressing like that?
I know, right? You're just like, what the fuck? This guy is just dressed weird as fuck, right? Like, you're just dressed up in this totally obnoxious way that doesn't even, like, make sense to you. And that shit is just, like, some of the most obscure way of, like, dressing, young man. Like, do you know how many parents out there, like, would disapprove of that? Would disapprove of your way of dress? How dare you wear that sus boy hoodie? Like, how many people out there, like, how many, like, I know for a fact that one of y'all out there is gonna be like, hashtag troll comment, press enter, and write, you know, negative comment on set description of comment box on the video. That's the thing. And, like, you see, there is so much anonymity happening on the interweb that the fact is that you could hide behind your phone screen and say whatever you goddamn want, but you're just trolling, and I think you're probably not really happy with yourself, and you just kind of have to accept things that there is a whole lot of new things going on here, honey. Like, there's a whole lot more than what meets the eye here. Just saying, and like, eventually at some point it's going to catch up to you, and you're just going to be like, whoa, what is going on here? See, like, what's going on here? Like, oop, did you see, Chris? I know you caught that.
What's going on here?
You caught that light flicker, right? And you were over here telling me, oh no, that the light's not flickering, but now you have proof. Now you have authentic, genuine proof that there is something weird going on here.
I just find it funny how you're like, what's going on here? What's going on here?
Right? That's what I mean, though. Like, that's just what I mean. Like, there is, like, weird shit going off. Like, anytime we have, like, these kinds of conversations here, because, you know, these conversations are very high frequency here. Like, I have practice a whole lot of meditations, practice a whole lot of I don't know, raving. Like, I've gone to a whole lot of raves. Like, I've done MDMA, which is probably why, like, I'm probably very, like, I sound dysfunctional as fuck, though. And that's because I kind of am dysfunctional as fuck, though.
Perhaps. Maybe not.
Perhaps? Oh, I think so very, yes. Oh, that's very wicked. That's very wicked. Tell us about your, what's up with it? You see this long hair? Like, this long hair is like a lion's mane. Like, I have not gotten a haircut in, like, months.
Oh, yeah.
Chris, it would take you about, like, if you wanted to grow out, like, a lion's mane like this, if you ever decided to, like, you know, just let that wild flower inside of you just sprout out into action, it would take you a minute. I mean, it's going to take you, like, No, it's not going to take you 50 years. It's just going to take you maybe, like, I don't know, 85 months. Well, I mean, this is, like, I haven't gotten a haircut in, like, forever. Like, I don't know, like, the very weird thing is that I don't actually feel like cutting my hair sometimes. Like, I get these moments in life where I'm just like, fuck, I need to get a haircut. Like, fuck, my hair is getting long as shit. But then it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Hair is actually antennas. Like, you can sense shit with this. Like, you can actually, like, have intuitive abilities that allow you to sense something very obnoxious. You can even sense things that aren't even about to happen, but then they end up happening anyways. Sounds pretty wicked, right? Sounds so outlandishly unspoken. Like, how dare you say that? But oh, I said it. And I said it very, very loudly.
You said it.
Oh, yes, I did.
But I'm on my way there, you see, like, last time we hung out, I had, like, I had a buzz cut. And as you can see, now I got that fucking bun going on.
Yeah, and like a year ago, maybe I had like short hair down to here, and you know the thing is that I have never felt like myself whenever I had shorter hair, cause you know I just look so obnoxious and so just weird. Like it doesn't feel like I'm being me. And now that I've just probably from like the experiences of like different drugs enhancements, like I've had my fair share of experiences on the weed, the MDMA, the magic mushrooms, and the LSD. Like
Shit.
we were just talking about it earlier. That holy shit, motherfucker, you are on a whole nother level of dimensional tryptamine bioessence from the chemicals produced from the DMT, which already coexists inside of your mind. You go to sleep with it. Every time you go to sleep, your brain releases a certain amount of DMT, and that's what causes you to dream. That's what sees you. That's how you see like these visions to the netherworld, right? Like you see these visions, and these visions can be very obscure. They can be very, like, what the fuck was that thing over there? And then they kind of manifest in your day-to-day life. Like they kind of just manifest. And then you're just like, what in the hell did I just notice there?
Alright, so good question for you that I have.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think, in your personal opinion, do you think drugs are bad or good?
Oh, well, in my personal opinion, I think that depends on the user. I mean, if you're looking for crack cocaine on the street, if you were like a bum walking around, just waiting for your...
That fix.
I gotta get my fix, man. I gotta get my fix. Right? You're just like walking around with like no teeth hanging out. Like you got maybe you see, I got like pearly whites here. I use a whole lot of toothpaste. I brush my teeth every day, and get this, I would never try any of those substances. But given by the way I'm behaving right now, you probably think I would, and you probably think I have. But you see, that doesn't matter. But yes, anyways, as I was saying, when we talk about the sample of drugs here, we're referring to different types of categories of drugs. I mean, if you're talking about the psychedelics, if you're talking about, the magic mushrooms, the LSD, and the DMT, we're talking about, the consciousness expanding substances which allow you to connect to a higher divine source. And when you get that divine source, weird shit begins to happen in your day-to-day life. Like one moment, you might be like, oh my goodness, she likes me. And then the next moment, it's like, oh no, she likes me not, because, oh, she went off with another guy. Like, see, true story here. I'm not even kidding here. True, actual story. See, I met this girl, right, at a music festival, right, and I thought things were gonna go so dandy between the two of us here. Like, right, we were like having our moments together. See, she had graduated from, university recently, and she said, hey, I'm going to move up here. But she ended up not. You see, I have access to the social media apps through my web browser phone here. Like this phone here is an attachment of you. This phone here is literally a part of you. I think I'm not gonna quote Elon Musk here, because I'm not trying to get into some copyright issues when we're just starting to begin, right? But back onto the section of drugs. If you allow that substance to overcome your life decisions, and you allow it to be a part of you, with knowing that that substance has some potential detrimental side effects, that shit can literally ruin your life experience. See here, I am a mortal being. I am made of flesh, blood, and bones. The body is very fragile when it's weakened. And when you take those substances that weaken you, it can crumble and collapse in a sense where... Like you got that needle just poking out your arm, you're just like, you're just like this, curled up in a ball, and you're just like, what is going on?
So you just end up being a tweaker in the middle of San Francisco, basically.
Yeah, that is true because, you know, I have seen those kinds of people before, and it's just so unfortunate, right? This is why our city gets such a bad rep, because don't nobody want to help these people out. Like, everybody is just too busy on their cellular mobile device going on about their days, not even realizing that, oh, shoot, there are people here that can't afford it, and they're struggling with, like, mental health issues, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And, like, neither do they know what is in their primordial existence of being.
But sometimes it's hard, you know, because, like, you know, for example, there's some people that are, you know, like, genuinely, like, they're poor. Like, you know, they're actually, like, you know, they have no choice.
Oh, of course, it's...
But then you got, like, some people that just, you know, chose a really bad path. And sometimes, you know, you try to help them, but really, they don't want the help. They just want more of, you know, that fix. And sometimes you can catch one of those aggressive-ass people.
Oh, tell me about it.
And that's the worst type of people, you know? And I feel like that's kind of one of the reasons why some people, not all, will, you know, kind of not want to help, you know, the poor as much, because they're like, well, what if this guy tweaks at me and just wants to, like, attack me and shit?
Oh, that's definitely a possibility there. See, I have one, like, literally, I have seen homeless people be walking around yelling at themselves, or yelling at, like, a demon or a bad spirit, which creeps me the fuck out. It's literally creepy as fuck. Like this, like, I saw this old lady once, and she was like, stop it, and I'm over here, like, on the other, like, I'm over here just, like, you know, minding my own business, just, like, walking down the street here, and literally, I'm over here freaked out. Like, that just creeps me out. It crept me out because, you see, I didn't know what the fuck was going to happen. Like, I'm over here thinking, what if I get assaulted? What if that lady is, like, thinks I'm a demon when, in fact, I'm really not? Like, what if my face just, like, were to, like, transmorph into, like, some, I don't know, some demon or some dragon or some fucking reptilian-looking creature around here, right? Like, you don't even need to be on drugs to do that. The mental illness already does it for you, in fact. Yeah. Oh, yes.
Sounds about right.
It's very, very right.
Either that, or just, you got someone that's possessed walking the streets.
Oh, yeah, they get possessed, and they get some really, really bad shit going on them. And then that shit just, like, it just creeps up on you, like.
Exactly, which you do not want.
Oh, no, you do not want that, so that's why I personally do not advocate for you to be poking yourself with a needle. Like, say no to the heroin. Say no to the heroin. Say no to the crack. And say no to the addictive substances that can trash about your life.
Sounds about right, yeah.
It is right. It is totally on point. Because don't nobody know what the fuck's going on. Don't nobody know, like, what's going on there. I mean, there's nobody that stops anyone from, like, you know, looking for crack on the street or looking for, you know, something to, like, you know, chew on. It's gonna be having you think there is, like, toilets, but the streets are not your toilets. Do not pee nor poo on the street.
Please don't.
Don't. Don't do that. That's just bad.
Love our Mother Earth.
Yes. Mother Gaia here is what keeps us alive. See, the air we breathe, the food, right? Like, the fires. I mean, there's a whole lot of fires. Like, everything in this goddamn room is flammable, and then everything in my goddamn room is flammable just as much. Like, one thing that goes wrong is the very fact that you can be very reckless with fire. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm personally not a pyromaniac, although I have lit shit on fire, and believe me, you get a bit of an odd sensation when you do. But that odd sensation can easily, like, you know, turn into something addictive. Like, see, if you got into, like, to begin with, if you already have an addictive personality like I do, like, I know I have to be so extremely careful when I, you know, put things, like, at task, because otherwise, if I don't, I can get latched on to, like, you know, things. And, you know, sometimes it's a family thing, sometimes it's a thing where you see other people doing it around you, and then, like, those other people around you, they just, you kind of just mimic off of them, right? You become like those who like, you become like those. You become like those you surround yourself with most often. See, energy rubs off, it's contagious. Emotions rub off, they are also contagious. And also keep in mind, FYI, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. I'm trying not to quote people because I don't want this to be like copyrighted. Like, who the hell owns, like, who the hell has ownership to this even?
No, it just started.
Right. Yes. It's just the beginning, but you see, I feel like I'm, like, very, very overreactive, TBH. Like, aren't I, like, do you get the impression that I'm, like, overreactive? I do.
You're just passionate about what you do. That's totally different, no?
Passionately overreactive?
Like, I think of it, like, for example, in my perspective, like, okay, let's say you go see a band, and you see a guitar player, and his stage presence is just, you know, he's standing there and he's just, you know, playing, but he's not moving. When you got some other dude that's, like, you know, headbanging, turning and jumping and shit, most people would say, well, is he overreacting or is he just passionate? Well, honestly, for me, that's passion, and that's what we like to see, right? You know,
of course,
we want to see a band that's, like, giving that, and like you said, the energy rubs off, and then it makes the crowd want to join in with the headbanging.
Right. Yeah. It's like, you know, it's like, you know, this, it's like this momentum that builds up all up in you, and it just kind of makes you squirm around in your seat. Well, not seat, because I've gone to very few concerts where you sit down. Most of the fucking concerts I've been to, and most of the things that I've gone to, involve standing up. Oh yes, there is no seating chart here.
Yeah, fuck seating.
Like, no, you don't need to sit here. You're gonna walk around. You're gonna use up your leg energy, and you're gonna, like, drink a fuck ton of water. And you're going to ask people, like, hey, like, what's up? And then, you know, sometimes you just make friends that way. But after the show's over, you probably may exchange your Snapchat information. You might exchange your phone number, or you might exchange, you know, your Instagram. And then it gets a little tricky. Because you're not always so certain if whether or not that person is going to keep in touch. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it is. Maybe is it life decisions or, like, life chances, or, you know, just, like, weird shit that goes down in the confines of your brain. cells? I mean, it's got to be like some type of mental blockage.
I personally feel like it's just out of excitement at the moment. Like, you know, you go to this concert or something, and yeah, you know, you get so excited when you meet someone. And then eventually, you know, when you guys go back to your normal lives, it's like when you're at your house or something, you're like, well, this person lives pretty far, and like it was just a show, so why even bother? Is what I feel like something that would kind of occur into someone's, you know, brain.
That's precisely what I'm getting to just now, because you're kind of just like, okay, so are we like gonna hang out? Like, are we gonna like, you know, see each other again?
Exactly. And you start to realize,
and then you kind of realize, like, you live like so far from me. Like, I can't call. Like, I can't, you know, just go to your house and like, you know, have like a barbecue or like, you know, watch Netflix and eat pizza.
Would be nice.
Right? Because you see, I have met so many people, and it's like, yo, all y'all who go to those concerts, all y'all, if you're into whether it be EDM or metalcore, we know, like, I mean, obviously, I think you can tell, like, I'm the EDM freak here, and he's kind of like, you know, the metal guy here, and you see, we're like, you know, we're like it's like, you know, an iconic duo. But you see, Toxic Twins, exactly, Toxic Twins. But you see, what I'm going to suggest here is for all of you out there watching, if you look like us, if you like the same kind of music, if you are an outcast or a rebel, or if you're, you know, 15 years old and you're going to your first show ever in your life and you meet somebody there, keep in touch with them. Do not leave them hanging. Do not leave them hanging, because you're in this together. Like, how you just gonna have fun for one night and then just never talk to me ever again? You know that actually hurts your feelings. Oh yes, it does. Oh yes, it do. Like, it hurts the fuck out your feelings, because all of a sudden you're gonna be like, oh, you're gonna find them on social media, on the IG, on the Snapchat, or the Facebook, whatever you use. I personally do not use Facebook, because let's be TBH here, Facebook has become trash. I deleted my Facebook like a while ago, and never have I ever been so happy in my life. Right? Like, you see, you come across, you see, let's say you start talking to them, right? And you, like, you know, develop like a crush on them, and you just start, like, you know, sending these lovey-dovey text messages, right? You send these lovey-dovey text messages with the hearts and the winks and the smiles, and they're like, oh my goodness, I want to be with you. Like, I just want to hug you. I just want to, like, you know, make out with you in a dark corner somewhere, right? But then you get that heart-sinking moment. Oh, she's with another guy. Oh, she takes pics with, like, oh. What the I blew my chances with you. It's like, you know, and then you just stuck wondering, like, where did I go wrong? What did I do? Am I, like, so fucked up in the head that I just don't deserve anyone to love? Like, is it really that condescending and cruel to just, like, do that to somebody, where you're just like, oh, well, I'm probably never going to see him again. Like, are you serious? Like, are you effing kidding me? No, they are not kidding you. It happens. Like, I have personally experienced that firsthand. See, first hand. Like, this is my first hand. It's true. Life stories, though, it's just, and then you're just kind of like, what am I gonna do? Like, what can I do? Oh, there's another flicker. See, that's how you know there's like something weird going on as fuck here. Right?
Yeah.
Oh yes. It's very weird indeed. Because then you don't know who's listening in on this. Who is listening?
Of course we know it's the system's hearing us, man. They're watching us everywhere.
This system, you say. You see, that's a very broad term. Like, when we talk about the system, like, who are we in fact referring to? Like, are we referring to our way of living? Are you referring to the criminal justice system? Are you referring to the,
the mysterious government,
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That is who we talking about here. And see, they not fucking with this video here. They're not, like, I already know from I instantaneously know that, like, once this, video gets uploaded onto the confines of the interweb, which, by the way, is going to happen here very soon. They're going to be monitoring us. They're going to be like, these guys know about our secrets now. They have info. That guy with the long hair. You need to, like, infiltrate him. He knows too much! Watch them send, like, CIA hitmen to my house.
Oh, shit.
Oh, fuck. No. Do not post up personal info on the interweb. Don't do it. Don't. It's bad for you. Like, you're going to start getting, like, weird messages in the mail, and then you're going to be like, it's just going to read, you shouldn't have done that. And then you're just like, what the fuck?
Just to find it all in serial killer letters.
Holy shit! And then you start hearing like the coming from like that side of the wall there, and then you're just like, holy shit, Chris! If that shit happens, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to grab one of these guitars here, and I'm gonna have to whack someone here. Whoever the fuck tries to come into this goddamn room, but trying to bust open this door, man, I'm sorry, but like I'm gonna have to like do that, and I don't want to, but just saying.
It's the only way to survive. Be realistic.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's the way to survive in the new age. Like, you gotta defend yourself. Like, you just can't let yourself be picked on and harassed. Like, I'm not trying to advocate any violence here, but I am going to advocate that you defend yourself from immediate threats.
Self-defense, not violence.
Self-defense. Like, you gotta stay safe out here. Stay safe. Although, nothing is ever really safe. Nothing is ever actually stable. It's kind of like, tumultuous, and it's just like there's no actual, like, smooth bell that goes up. It's more like jagged and crooked, and you might have some zigzags going on the way there. It kind of just goes on and off, on and off, on and off, and it's just always pushing your buttons. Like, green button, red button, yellow button, orange button. And you're just like, make up your fucking mind and choose one fucking button. You don't need to be pressing all those buttons.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh, it is about right.
Illuminating us. Boy Fonz.
Oh, yes. The authentic illuminated Fonzie. Got the tattoos to prove it here. Got the Freemason's necklace and the sign of a New order of the New Ages. Would you believe that there are trolls on the internet who think this is like globalist propaganda here? Like they're going to think of, they want to like take away our existence. Like I have legit gotten into arguments on the interweb with these strangers who I don't even know who the fuck they are about the world order, thinking it's like some tyrannical government about to take away your rights, when in fact it's more of a thing where it's bringing people together in union and comparison. It brings people together so we can, share the world's resources collectively. I mean, think about how much of a difference that would be. It's a huge difference. It's a very big difference. But you see, there's conspiracy theorists that want to, perform mind control. You just got, and they're just like, but you'd be surprised. You would actually be very genuinely surprised as to how much propaganda is in existence.
The life you live is an illusion.
Oh, it's a veil. And once you realize that it's a veil, you're just like, fuck. I've been living a lie my whole entire life. What am I going to do? Does that mean I was under mind control my whole life too? And the answer is, well, yes. And it took me a while to process. Oh, I'm going to keep pointing out every time that light flickers, they know. See, because we're out here sending universal rays. But you see, once you realize that you're under mind control and you wake the fuck up, you're just like, holy fuck, I can't do this no more. I'm just so tired.
And not just that,
can't fuck with this no more.
You'll end up coming back to this channel and subscribing because you knew we were.
See, we warned you.
Legit.
We warned you. We warned you. We told you about it, but you didn't believe us the first time. And then once you have your moment of reckoning here, you're gonna realize, holy fuck, I can actually do something. AKA, I don't know, talk in front of a camera, rambling on and on about everything. You see, because IDK, it's just so obnoxious. It's so weird. But you see, there's no actual, I don't think there's any actual sense of normalcy or any sense of normal, because you see, normal is very subjective. Normal is a subjective term. Normal, what you think is normal, could be absolutely bizarre to your next door neighbor. And what your next door neighbor thinks could be absolutely bizarre to you. And that's just how the world works. Ding! Do you see what I mean? I don't get any text messages from people, but I get these text messages from these companies trying to get me to purchase their products. No. Quit trying to send me the propaganda, because I'm not gonna fucking open it. Stop sending me propaganda text messages and start sending me text messages from actual fucking people with feelings.
Fuck all those ads, man.
I know, right? I just gotta tap the skip button every time I'm watching a video, but you see every time you actually tap that skip button, it produces ad revenue for the person or the publisher. It does. It does.
It's just everywhere.
Yes. It's called marketing techniques. And if you fall for that marketing, some of it can be bullshit with like absolutely nothing to like offer you, right? But then other times it could be. Sometimes I genuinely feel like something is just like weird. Like I don't know, like what kind of studies goes into these marketing firms that divest so much of their money into like these campaigns and these marketing schemes that just try to get you to want shit and buy shit that you don't even need. Cause let me tell you one thing from my personal experience. There is I'm always constantly wanting new shit, like T-shirts and merchandise and like shoes and like bracelets and like knickknacks. It's like they know how to read your mind and they know how to like press you emotionally to get you to spend money. And yes, I'm talking to you, who's ever on the other side of this here camera.
Yeah. All the time they'll just pull that bullshit, like to just get you, like to hook you even more, like reel you in, is by throwing like those. Oh, it's the last day of the sale. Oh, it's the last day of this much percentage off. But when you realize, like literally. That happens every fucking day. Like, okay.
It does.
Like, let's say today it's like, oh, it's the last day of the sale. Next thing you know, it's next week, and it's like one more day for the sale. And it's like, it's just the never-ending bullshit, man.
It's a capitalist market, see? They try to make money, and I feel like they fund hundreds. They have like hundreds of thousands of dollars at their disposal where they can target certain subsets of populations of people, right? Like they can target you from like anywhere. Like if we go back to our example here of what I was saying earlier about like this label of like hot topic kids. I mean, if you're a troll on the interweb watching this, you probably do get a sensation that we are hot topic kids. And maybe there is some truth to that because I did used to, in fact, shop at Hot Topic when I was in my teens. So I don't know. Maybe there's some truth to that. But get this: there is a reason why they make those store logos so like big and so like ostentatious, because little knickknacks and like little bracelets and shit, they catch people's eye, and they know that if they can sell it for like $5 or like $7, holy fuck, we just tapped into a whole new market of like desperate hormonal teenagers. I would know because I used to be one of those desperate hormonal teenagers, and look at the clusterfuck it made. I mean, only makes sense. Right.
Be a sucker. That's really it.
No, I mean, ultimately, just kind of comes down to personal decisions. Like you can ultimately decide if whether or not you want to buy shit or not. Like, I mean, I would say that about 90% of the time you will want to buy shit. It's just programmed in your human psyche to want shit because what else is there to pursue if it isn't some kind of like material item? I think it's just a natural inclination to want some kind of like thing that represents your status, your social status, so to speak, right? Because I mean, it's ingrained in your psychology because items that have high value, like high valued items, will sort of give off this impression that, oh, I can actually, like, oh, this makes me look good. And then you take your photos with it on whatever social media app you got going on here, whether it be on the IG, the Snap, or the Facebook, right? But then what you really what you really want there is like a dopamine rush. That's what it's meant to do. It's meant to keep because you're not only spending money, you're spending dopamine. Because like that sudden rush that goes through your head when you're just like, I got to want that, I must have it. Like, this is gonna make me look good. This is gonna get me likes. This is gonna get me views. This is gonna get me clicks. This is gonna get me like all those desperate attention that I've been craving for all my life. And sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. But other times it might not. And when it doesn't, you start to feel so lonely and depressed about yourself because, oh, I'm not popular enough. Oh, I don't have that kind of like social status. That person is like, way better than I am. Whoosh. And believe me, I know from personal experience because I have gone through those tough moments where you just kind of like compare and contrast what you have with with the other worldly possessions from other people.
Thing is, we're just all attracted to stuff that's new. And when you got a little bit of money in your account, you just go for it because why not, right?
Exactly. Why the fuck not? Because you're just like, should I really spend money on it? Should I not spend any money on it? Should I do this? Should I do that? There's all these what ifs and shoulds. Then you're just like, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. I don't care. I'm getting it. I want it. Like, I probably made some very bad decisions with my money before where you're just like, fuck, I should not have spent that $500 on a belt, which I have before, when I had very, very little cash on me. And that shit, like, when I think about, my personal finances and, like, it's like, holy fuck, what the fuck do I not have? Social status? 6 trillion followers on the gram? I don't. But you don't need those 6 trillion followers. Because whether you realize it or not, there is always somebody out there that will love you. Regardless of what you be looking like, regardless if you're big or if you're skinny or if you're, I don't know, like, deformed. Human compassion does exist. And it's something that is very heartfelt.
Well said.
Exactly. Chris, I feel like I'm doing all the talking here. Like, what the fuck did I just do?
I'm not sure, but let me just say.
We got it going on here. We got it going on.
You got it going on. And the matter of the fact is, you be deformed, you could be, you know, anything. You could, you know, whatever skin color, whatever preference you are.
See, we're all just humans.
We're all humans, and this is some type of thing that we're doing here, which is like, you know, we have open minds, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Way too open.
And that's what we're doing here. We're just spreading our wisdom.
Our messages, see, because this is, in fact, the information age where it's all about, you know, spreading what you think now, because whether you want to believe it or not, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, the fact of reality is that the social fabrics of society are on their last breath of existence. We are headed towards an imminent collapse. And if you don't turn to the interweb, if you don't turn to the online, if you don't turn to these sorts of outlets, there is not gonna be a whole lot that's left out there. I stumble upon my words, but that's okay because weird shit can happen. Something on your work. I don't know about you, but I'm having a good time. I'm chilling here.
We're just chilling. We're having a splendid time.
Yeah, like you see, this is like you know, the new thing now. Like, you know, just podcasting and just talking about like random shit now is just like. It's just like a new thing where like we've got this whole retro wave of like, whoa, boy, this is like way out there. Chris, pull out that guitar there. Just show him that guitar. See, that's a very wicked fucking guitar. Give him a little like note, like just I don't know, play him like a little note, or just like a little tune.
That is a little wicked son you get. That's all you get for now.
Right? You see, he's like the guitarist, and I'm a glover. Like, I know it's like, it seems like such a weird combination here. Like, I don't have my gloves with me, but I will next time. And I'm going to throw down.
Shit, next time we're going to have everything. You know, we might even fucking have a damn performance going on in this bit.
Holy shit. Can you imagine that?
Goddamn. So now, you guys not only get wisdom, you guys get live performances.
See, that's because you gotta do the most with the little bit that you have, right? Like, you just kind of have to, like, you know, have that confidence in yourself that, you know, I may not have a whole lot to, like, you know, give out, but actually, you'd be surprised. You do have a lot, and you'd be surprised at how much power and influence your voice has on the interweb. Like, even if it's just like one follower, even if it's just like 2 followers or 3 or 4, it's a person that's watching. Someone else has seen that, and someone else is going to get influenced by the way you think. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. A solid statement indeed.
A golf clap to that.
Golf
clap.
A golf clap. You get a little wiggle with the fingers, right? You kind of just go high tech with it, right? You kind of just like like I really feel like I could teach people somehow, some way, like I could just get over the technicalities. Like I just don't know how to get the fuck over the goddamn technicalities, because I know that if I try to explain this to someone, they would just be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what? Right? And I'm pretty sure that, you know, I mean, I do this out in public, like, all the time. Like, I'll just be, like, you know, in line somewhere, and I'll just get, like, really impatient. And then you just got the energy that's just going on, and then you're just, like, and then you're, I mean, that's a thing when you're a glover. Like, you start to, like, have these moments where I can't control my urges.
Just feeling
my
it.
urge is like way too out there. I gotta express it. Someone's gonna laugh at me, someone's gonna point at me, someone's gonna say, hey, what the fuck? What the fuck was that? Like, who the hell is that guy over there? And they just look at you like, but do you know when they ever say nothing? No, never. They don't say anything. They really don't. So then keep it to yourself. And don't say a word.
That's right. Either have something positive to say, or if you got something weird to say, just keep it to yourself.
Exactly.
No hate.
No hating. No room for hate. Say no to hate. Hating is bad.
Only love.
Love energy. Love energy. Love energy. So, this is a grand new awakening. Like, you know, something happened to me the other night where, like, I kind of just realized, you know, I better start getting my messages out. I better just start, you know, talking about shit that happens in our life experiences, because, you know, like, our life experiences are actually pretty darn significant to a certain extent. So, what's with that? Like, how can your life experiences influence the way someone else thinks? It's a good question, and I don't know the answer to it. But if one of you knows the answer to it, you are free to allow your insights. By all means, please, 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 go ahead, type away. Let us know what you think, as we are curious human beings.
And also, be sure to just let us know on some other topics you'd like us to kind of touch on.
I mean, this is a new channel. We're going to talk about everything that goes down here. The good, the bad, and the ugly. So, when you come back to us sometime in the near future, we are going to be diving deep on a whole wide array of discussions. This has gone on for about 58 minutes. Like, we're approaching the hour here. Chris, we got 2 minutes to, like, you know, wrap this up.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say, if you stuck around, thank you, honestly.
Of course.
Because you took, you know, some time out of your time to, like, actually, you know, vibe with us. And look forward to more videos. We're gonna switch it up, you know.
We're gonna switch it up.
Each video is just gonna get better.
More and more complex. It's gonna get weirder. It's gonna get freakier. It's gonna get earthly. It's gonna get. I mean, you're probably gonna think it's like we're something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but that is the whole goddamn point of these messages of higher frequency. We are the new awakening of the planet, and it is up to you to establish your world order on your end of the camera. So, with all due respect, we have broadcasted the message. We are awakened. Keep your third eye open, and don't drink the tap water so much, because it's going to clog you up and get some fluoride in you. Fluoride is only for your teeth, not for the pineal gland. So, with all due respect, 57 seconds, and we are signing off. Goodbye.